It's Thursday, and if you are subscribed to Mamatried, you know exactly what that means. It's Toddler Thursday, where I have some toddler meal ideas for you. So for today, I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a surprise snack. I hope you enjoy. First things first, I'm getting out all of my ingredients for my recipe like I normally do, and we are going to be making this oatmeal that is appley and cinnamony and cashewy and delicious and perfect for those cooler mornings. So I'm just putting 2 cups of water into a saucepan over medium-high heat, and then I'm going to be adding 1 cup of milk and 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. Now that I've added all these ingredients, I'm just going to stir everything up and bring that to a boil.
No.
So while that's boiling, Luxie's playing with her puzzle and I am peeling and chopping a Granny Smith apple. You can use whatever kind of apple you want, but I think that the Granny Smith apple just tastes perfect in this recipe. I also got out 1/4 cup of dried cranberries and I set them to the side to put in the oatmeal as well. You could switch that out for dried cherries or raisins, whatever floats your boat, but this is what I had. And now I'm just chopping a handful of raw cashews. When the mixture has come to a boil, I'm going to add in the oats. It's 1 1/2 cups. And I'll be putting everything in the video description as well. Just saying, if you get confused or I'm going too fast or too slow, whatever, you can look in the video description too. And I'm learning about chapters, so keep an eye out for that too. And now I'm just adding in my cranberries and my apples, and I almost forgot my cinnamon. So really you should add the cinnamon in first, so that way it mixes with the oats really, really well. But I didn't do that, so boo, do better than me. I really love cinnamon. It's an antioxidant. It's amazing. So I just eyeball it and put a ton in there, but depending on how much you like cinnamon, just add a teaspoon. If you're just not that big of a fan, add the whole jar if that's what you like to do. You know, do your thing, girl. Now that all of your ingredients are added, just let that simmer for about 12 to 15 minutes, just checking on it. You don't want it too mushy and you don't want it too hard. So, you know, Goldilocks. Once that is done, add in a tablespoon of butter and mix it all up and you're ready to serve, baby. But of course, if you're giving it to your child, make sure it's cooled first. Make sure there are no hot spots. So stir it up real good, put it in the fridge, put it in the freezer, whatever you have to do, but do not burn your baby's mouth. Luxie is currently obsessed with anything whipped cream, so I put whipped cream on top in hopes that she would love the oatmeal because she's really not a big fan, but she ate more than I thought she was going to, so that's great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to see how many mamas have babies like mine. So I've been trying to give Luxie oats since she started eating. She's just not a fan. I guess that's not her texture, whatever. I know that some kids have their thing that they just don't like. So I took it on as a challenge. So that's why I make so much oatmeal all the time. Try different variations of oatmeal, chocolate chip cookie dough oatmeal, chocolate chip oatmeal. We got some apple oatmeal. I'm just trying to get the girl to eat some oatmeal. She ate more than I thought she was going to. So that's awesome, especially when you're 2.5, because apparently when you're 2.5, you only want to eat snacks, you know? You don't want meals. You don't have time for it. Way too busy. Way too busy. Editing this video just makes me want to make this again. So these are avocado chicken grilled burrito wraps and they are delicious. Okay, so first I'm going to be marinating my chicken. So I've just got a bowl that I put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in and the juice of an entire lemon. I would have done a lime, but I didn't have a lime, so lemon it is. And then I'm just going to get out the lemon seeds and add in my seasonings. All of the exact measurements will be in the video description, so if you want exact, be sure to check it out there. I don't like measuring things, you know? I don't like extra dishes, so when I get the chance to not, I don't. So I'm adding in some garlic powder, some sea salt, some little pap, some oregano, chili powder, and some cumin, baby. Mix all of that really, really well. Now we're going to cut up our chicken. Now I forgot what I was doing for a second and I started cutting these like fajitas. I eventually like cubed them, so that's how I would recommend cutting them. I just cut off all the gross parts. I don't like that part of the chicken. I don't like the tenders. Biting into stuff like that just makes me want to be vegan again. So we're taking it off. We're taking it off. And then, like I said, if you're smart, you will cube it, or you'll just shred it, like do the whole chicken breast and then shred it. That would have been smart of me too, but mom brain, I guess. So I cooked it like it was fajitas, and then I just ended up cubing it and putting it in the wraps like that. You can do your chicken however you want, girl. Alright, so mix the chicken in that marinade really, really good and throw it in the fridge for as long as your heart desires, preferably more than 30 minutes. These are the containers that I'm going to be using for Luxie's snack today, and you'll see why in just a minute. But first, I wanted to say thank you to today's sponsor, which is Termichy, and they sent me these baby food containers that are silicone, so they are BPA free, and I have absolutely fallen in love with them. I wish that I had these when Luxie was an infant, because I used to meal prep all of her baby food and I would freeze it and then I would just thaw it as I went. Well, these are absolutely perfect for that because you can stick them in the freezer, you can microwave them, and the little penguin on top is actually a vent, so it makes microwaving them so much easier. I love that you can easily throw these in a lunchbox or the diaper bag if you need to, because they are the perfect portion size for a toddler or for a complete meal for a baby. You can throw them in the freezer, you can put them in the microwave. I love that they're silicone and safe for little ones, and they are 100% leak proof and airtight, so they keep the food fresher longer. If you are interested, of course, these are Amazon Prime and they will be in the description box, but let's get into today's Jello. Today, I'm going to be making homemade Jello because store-bought Jello just isn't my favorite. It's pumped full of all kinds of ingredients that you do not want to be giving your toddler whose brain is growing rapidly. Now, don't get me wrong, my toddler does get food dyes and food coloring in her food sometimes, but everything is okay in moderation. And I'm not a big fan. So today I am making some homemade Jello, which was actually really, really easy. So first I just chopped up some strawberries and blueberries, and now I'm adding 1/4 cup of cold water to a bowl, and then I'm going to be adding 1 packet of this unflavored gelatin that I picked up at Walmart. I looked at the ingredients and this is exactly the same as the other brands. It's just great value. So there's no dyes in this, and I love that. So it's just gelatin, nothing special. So I'm adding that into the water, and I'm just going to whisk it together until it becomes like gel. And then I'm going to be adding in some hot water. So I'll be adding in 1/4 cup of hot water to this to kind of give it that Jello consistency. Now I'm going to be adding in 1 1/2 cups of organic apple juice. You can use whatever kind of juice that you want. I would just try to stay away from juices that are super high in sugars or high fructose corn syrup, stuff like that. Now I'm just going to stir everything together really, really well, and then I'm going to set that to the side. I'm getting out my containers and I'll be placing the fruit that I chopped up in the bottom of the containers and pouring the Jello mixture over it. Now you can make this recipe totally your own. You can use whatever kind of juice, whatever kind of fruits, or no fruit if you don't want fruit in there. So just do whatever your baby would want, or your toddler. Sorry, I call my toddler my baby a lot because she is my baby. Okay, I don't care. When she's my age, she'll still be my baby. Anyways, so after I'm done putting all of the liquid in, I'm just going to put the lids on and put it in the fridge for about 2 hours. I would recommend doing at least 4 hours, if not overnight, because I let it sit for 2 hours, and when it came out, it was a little And I'm just chopping up some cilantro that I grew in my in-home garden because I bet you guys didn't know I was a farmer. Okay, a girl can dream, but I really did grow that out of my Click and Grow garden. I'm just saying, it's really cool. Now don't forget about flipping that chicken. You better flip that chicken, girl. Now I'm going to add the avocado and the cilantro into a bowl. I'll also be adding probably half a cup of Mexican blend shredded cheese in there as well. And then I'm going to add in about 2 cups, give or take, of the chicken that I cooked and mixing that all together. And that's going to be the burrito mixture. Also, if you were wondering why I cooked way more chicken than I needed, it's because I like to save it for later so I can add it into salads and other wraps, things like that for myself. We like the Mission carb balance tortillas, and I'm just splitting the mixture into fourths and placing them inside of each tortilla. You want to make sure that you don't put too much, because then your tortilla will break, and that's just not a good situation. So put less than you think, roll it up into a nice little tortilla, and put it to the side. And repeat 3 more times. If you're not sure how to roll up a burrito, you basically just put the mixture in the very middle of it, fold one half of it over, and then fold the top and the bottom in, and then fold the other part over so that way it's closed off. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, since I have quite a few burritos to cook, I just got out the old griddle. I added a little bit of olive oil on top to make sure that nothing's stuck on it, and I've got it on medium heat. I'm just going to place the burritos on one side, cook for about 2 minutes, and then flip them over and let them cook for another 2 minutes. And if you're wondering, yes, these taste just as awesome as they look. I just paired it with some fruit and goldfish, and bon appetit!
It's soup season, y'all. And if you wonder why I usually do the voiceover, it's because there's a lot of chaos going on in the background, because I have a 2-year-old. Lexi's watching Paw Patrol. Mama's about to make some soup for soup season. I could really eat soup every day, even in the summer here in Texas when it's 105. And I mean that quite literally. I love me some soup. And this one right here, it's a healing soup, okay? Some cultures say that this is like a postpartum healing soup, but it's delicious. It's got all the veggies, it's got all of the nutrients you need. So let's do it.
So first, I'm getting out all of my ingredients for this recipe. I actually found this recipe on Pinterest a while back, and it is amazing. So I will link it in the video description if you want to save that. But I'm chopping up all of these veggies. I did them beforehand because at nighttime, I'm just tired, you know? So I am using my Dutch oven, which I later on got a bigger pot because this was not big enough by far. And I put the heat on high and cooked 2 pounds of the ground turkey with 1 chopped onion until it was all the way cooked through. And then the girl that wrote out the recipe said that she likes to drain fat by putting a piece of foil in a bowl, draining the fat in it, then sticking it in the fridge until it hardens, and then she just throws it away. I thought that was genius. Now that the turkey is done cooking, I'm just adding in my garlic. I'm adding in about 5 to 6 cloves because these are just like little cloves and I love garlic. So I added in a lot, and now I'm adding in all of the seasonings. Like I said, the recipe will be in the description box. So if you're wanting the exact measurements, everything will be there. I'm just letting that cook until I can really smell the garlic, and then I decided to put everything in a much larger pot because I knew that it was going to boil over. I just knew it. So now I'm adding in some chicken broth. I'm just doing 2 32-ounce containers of it, which is about 10 to 12 cups, and I'm just stirring that and adding in 4 cups of water as well. Now I'm just going to bring this mixture to a boil, and then I'm going to add in my diced tomatoes, white beans, and all of the vegetables except for squash and zucchini. I'm going to let that simmer for about 20 minutes, and then I'll come back to put the squash and zucchini in. Now let that simmer for about 10 minutes, and then it will be ready to serve.
Eat it with your spoon. I gave you a soup spoon. Lexi, you gotta try it. You helped me make it, and you're not even gonna try?
I'm not even gonna try. Kiss. Oh.
Don't even look at it. Close your eyes. You can do it. You're a big girl. Okay, just try it. Just try. Shoot. Think about the flavors. And this is a piece of celery. See? Celery, it makes the letter C. C for celery. You see it?
I see it.
C for celery.
C for celery.
Mm-hmm. That's cabbage. Mama loves cabbage.
I like cabbage.
You do?
I do.
It's really yummy.
It's very yummy.
And you know what else? It's really good for you too. And look, there's a little white bean. Can you say antioxidants? Just try. Antioxidants. Come on, Lexi, you're good at saying stuff like that. Antioxidants. Good job!
Okay. For the white beans.
How do you know?
What about this baby?
Just close your eyes and try it.
No, you try it.
That's the best way to try something. You just gotta close your eyes and try it and see if you like it. Because most of the time you just don't like how it looks. But it doesn't matter what's on the outside, only what's on the inside. What do you think?
That's why, put it in salad.
Do you like it?
I like it.
You did like it?
I did.
You like cabbage?
I like cabbage.
Give me some nuts. Woo! Good job. Oh, good job! Lexi, that was good.
No?
Come on, you can do it. Yay! Go, Lexi! Are you done eating?
Yeah.
You are done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, girl. Get it. Oh, yeah. Get it.